guys, and welcome back to another episode of
And on that
note, that was fun. So,
yes, now we are.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and welcome to another episode of
And on that note. We're such losers.
Yeah, it doesn't get old though.
and then we know in Jesus' name, please.
I was just going to say that, George.
We're back, guys. We're back with another one.
I feel
I'm
like
so
we
happy
should
to be
remind
back.
everyone of who we are, because with this COVID being the enemy of progress, and obviously I look different.
Yeah, you look
Hey.
People might not know who I am. Hi, my name's
Do you want to
Daphne.
start?
No, go on.
Daphne's Room. Follow me on the Instagrams. Thank you.
I'm Danielle. You can find me at Winging It at Motherhood on the Instagrams too.
I am Mrs. Jacobs with a Z at the end. You're a hater.
I was doing it in an endearing way. Why are you lying?
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank
We
you.
all are.
I love you, Daphne.
Love you too. You guys. And I'm Annette. Follow me at Mazzini on Instagram. Thanks, guys.
Mazzini on the Googles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And you can Google me too. Mazzini on the Google. Oh,
So,
I'm happy to be back, guys. I've missed you guys.
Happy to be back.
I've
yeah,
missed you
I know.
guys.
I know.
Why is this happening? Why can't we be free already?
Like you said, COVID is an EOP. It's the enemy of progress. It won't allow people
So,
to be
Scott's
great.
question: if we were allowed
Yeah.
to go out, as in like proper, like just meet up with friends and everything, would you go out?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. I went out today.
Where did you go?
Where?
With your
But
pregnant
to meet people in it.
Yeah, with my pregnancy. Okay, no. So actually, I went to pick up fabric because
Okay.
I did some work. But no, my mum got lost on the way to my auntie's house, and she was like, "Can you come and help me? Drive me there. I'll follow you. You don't have to touch me. You don't have to see me or anything." I was like, "You're my mum. How am I not gonna get out and hug you?"
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
I haven't seen you for like 2 months.
Hold on, wait. So your mum came from Essex and she asked you for directions. Your mum
From
just wants to see you.
Literally, I'm just like her go-to. I always like get her out of trouble.
She just really missed you.
Yeah, and that too. But it was so good to see her and see my auntie. It was so nice. I
Aww.
missed them so much. And they were like, "Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
the baby boy!"
Aww.
So yeah,
But yeah, it's true because they haven't seen it for so long.
They haven't even been, they haven't even seen the journey.
yeah, they were like,
That's
"You're
so crazy.
bountiful." I was like,
Oh,
You're bountiful. That's such an African word, right?
"It
You're
is.
looking bountiful.
You're looking bountiful."
Oh, but it's, do you know what?
That was nice.
That's so sweet. You know, I was saying literally just today, I was just like, oh, I really want to go and see my mum. And I'm not even that kind of girl. Like, I'm not even that kind of girl. Like, oh, I need to see my mum. And today I literally was like that. Like, I was like, I really want to see my mum. I really want to and I was using Nathaniel as an excuse, whereas it was really me that wants to go and see her, because he would be like, Grandma. And I was like, oh, I want to see her as well.
so did you go?
Even though I speak to her, no, I'm gonna go this week though. Even though I speak to her like literally almost every single day, it's just not the same.
Yeah, it's not.
Did
I
you
saw
go,
my mum
Daphne?
yesterday
My
and the
sister.
boys.
Oh, you saw them?
Yeah, but my mum won't come anywhere next to me, obviously, because she's working in the community, so she still has to keep her distances. So we haven't done like hugs or anything, but no, I've definitely seen them. She can't resist herself though. She hugs Kiona, of course. But yeah, I know. And I'm like, Mum, she's coming back to our house. I can catch whatever you think. She's like, no. Children are less vulnerable. They can't catch it. I'm like, okay, Mum, don't worry. Blood of Jesus.
Yeah, that's the only thing we can do at this
Blood
point.
of Jesus.
It's blood of Jesus, because
Well,
Only
guys, ignore
it's
me.
only by
Definitely
I
would you
feel
go.
like
Have you been to see your mum?
yeah, and my sister.
Oh,
But you're all very sensible.
I miss them, like, but then I feel like I remember before, like they lifted, they relaxed some of the things. I went to go
Relaxed
see
them.
my mum. I went to my mom's house, and I remember like they came out the door, and I was in my car, and I just stood by the car, and it was the saddest thing ever. This was like a few weeks ago now, and it was just like you just had to stand there, and I was like,
yeah.
I just had to like go.
But at the same time, it's just you being sensible as well, because obviously
Yeah.
your mum also works in the field as well. So
Yeah.
I mean, as much as we miss them, you still need to apply common sense to it.
Yeah. But then like my mom will be like to me like the funny thing is it's like my mom initially was kind of like, oh, you know, we'll be taking care. Now she's the advocate. Every little thing, no, we must clean, we must wash hands, we must do this, do that. Like she's on it. Like so even like obviously God forbid, like she would even come in contact with anybody or be exposed to it. But I feel like even if she was that, she's not that person. Like she's so vigilant that I think she's I'd be very surprised.
And I think also because like a lot of their peers, they're hearing stories about a lot of their peers catching it or being exposed to it, or worse comes to worse, like actually passing from it as well. So it's making them realize that no, this thing is not a joke.
Super close to home.
Yeah.
It's not a joke, boy.
It's not.
It's not a joke at all. But guys, since our last video, so much has obviously progressed. In terms of, I don't know whether so much things has progressed, but a lot of things have happened since our last video. And I think it's still on the course of things are just moving mad.
Yeah. Somebody wrote, is yesterday the 1st? Yeah. Somebody wrote, welcome to 2020 season 6 episode 1. Because it's a movie. It's a
I am
whole
tired.
Right
No. It's been every single month. Even like I was saying to one of my brothers, was it yesterday or the other day? I was like, every single month. And June is literally what we're experiencing now. This whole Black Lives Matter and this whole movement. Like, when will it end? When will it end?
It just gets worse.
Very much.
Like you think you literally think, okay, we've got to the like pinnacle. Like things can only get better.
Nah.
It's getting worse, mate.
It really is a movie. That's the only way to explain it. Like, it's just a movie. Like,
and people will be
you
like,
just have to pinch yourself.
End of days, this, that, this. So those people that say that stuff, I'm just like, shut up.
Don't you think so? I actually do think it's end of days. However,
I've got things to do.
But they've been saying from the Bible days that it's the end of days.
It doesn't need to be tomorrow. It could be.
They've been saying it's the end of the day since the Bible.
It's been end of days for 2,000 years.
Exactly. It just means everyone should live their life as if it's their last, basically. So, like, you have things to do, but it does make you wonder, like, really?
I need to be a millionaire before the world ends. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
We need to.
Me and Jesus, we have had a conversation.
We have an like this, isn't it?
Yeah.
Me and Jesus, we have had a conversation.
He knows what time it is.
My bank balance is ready to be filled, overflowing, shaken up and stirred because I meet
I cannot die
before I
cannot be dying 1,000 there, please.
No. I cannot. But
I'm not dying 1,000 there, that's for sure.
I just feel like we need to unplug it and start again.
Yeah, definitely.
Lol, reboot.
Definitely. What do we press on the CTRL and delete? Control delete. Control alt delete.
Control alt delete.
Control alt delete.
Control alt delete. 2020 start all over, please.
But for me, it's like just been so eye-opening that as much as obviously this is just super frustrating, everything that's going on from, deaths, as in non-COVID related deaths, then COVID and COVID related deaths, and then obviously, having to have this situation with Black people in general, and let alone the ones that have just come to light because of video. Like, I think that's one thing that frustrates me as well about this whole thing is like, this is just one incident that's on the video. Like, there's many. But that aside, like, I think for me, it's just learning that you don't understand when this whole thing is, I'm doing everything I want to do.
No.
Like,
that's
everything.
No, hello. You see me? Homebody me. You guys will catch me outside. How about that?
How about that? Like, and I literally mean it. Like, I don't know if you guys know, but like, I think I've said to maybe a few of you bots before, like, I'd like to work abroad or do this.
You're going for it.
yeah, I was talking to one of my friends yesterday, and like I was talking, and you know when you hear yourself say something out loud, because I've been saying it for the longest, but then I heard myself something out loud, so I was like to myself, so what are you exactly waiting for? Like,
Yeah.
what are you waiting for? Like, and I just had to kind of be like, do you know what? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
submit
because the
certain
things you leave
applications.
here will still be here when you come back. So
That's the
go
thing,
for
yeah.
it.
And even if
Yeah.
it's not that, it's like just make an attempt to move towards your goals, your ambitions, you know, whatever it may be that you're trying to do. So just all those things,
100%.
guessing and being like, what about this? Or the time is not quite right, and da 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 da. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, you do everything with wisdom
Bruv.
involved, but you do
Yeah.
like just don't be afraid.
Yeah.
If
Do it.
it's not right and you're with God, God will say, "Oh, my child, this is not right now for you."
He'll shut it
You've
down.
got to do.
Yeah, he'll shut it. Yeah, you've got to
That's
do.
just where I am.
I'm literally on that same wavelength as you, you know, like I'm literally like, just do it. Like literally, like obviously not just doing everything, do things with discernment and everything.
Yeah.
But I am really on that wavelength of I'm going to go for it, because the way how everything is going, you almost think to yourself, like we will be making all these plans in our minds, like, oh, in 2 years time, I'm going to try and start this. In 3 years time, I'm going to start this.
Why not
Hello.
today?
If we don't even make it to the end of 2020, then what?
Yeah.
Then what? Because literally this day and age is letting me know, like, wow, every single day counts. Every single second counts. Guys, I was even saying yesterday to my husband that yesterday I noticed that a couple of my neighbors, there were 3 fights yesterday, like in people's homes in my area yesterday.
Wow.
And I said to my husband, I think the isolation and the heat combined, plus Black Lives Matter, everything is getting to these people's head. Because people, like my area is peaceful and quiet. People were 3 fights in one day. I said, nah, that's when I knew it's the heat and isolation, because nobody knows what's going on. Now the government has said that, oh, June the 1st, you're allowed to go out. Now they're at home, they're fighting. When they weren't allowed out, they were going out.
That's why. So people are starting to cave in. Like,
people don't even know what to do anymore. Everyone's so conflicted.
I agree with you guys 100%, man. I'm just literally this lockdown has been so eye-opening for me in particular. I've just felt like you never know when your everyday is gone. Your everyday routine, getting on the train or getting in your car, going to work, going to meet people, having meetings with your colleagues, this, that, on the phone, blah, blah, blah.
Just even going to do your nails and doing to your eyebrows.
Do my nails. Do you know
I really want a pedicure right now?
Me and Daphne were saying the other day, like, our random Westfield trips, like, obviously we never ever thought that was such a big thing, but now that we can't just say, oh,
it's a big thing,
it's a big thing. Like, it's so
it's a big thing.
It's so
it's a big thing.
And I was literally just like, I'm not waiting anymore. Like, I can't do this.
Yeah, you just
have to do it. Because
there's even like a Bible verse about it as well. I can't remember where it's from, but it says like, whatever you do, do it with all your might, because if we're in the grave that you're going to, there's no sleeping, no slumbering, no nothing. So you might as well just do it now. What are we actually waiting for? Annette, you've been doing it. You've actually been doing quite a lot during this quarantine.
Well done.
Bumping and all.
Yeah.
Thanks,
girls.
And set trophy.
I'm clapping in my heart. I can't because my laptop will move, so I'm doing clap.
No, what did they do in the poems?
Spoken word.
Spoken word.
That's what I'm saying. Like, honestly, I just had to push myself and just really be like. So last time I actually wanted to take my maternity leave with Asha and everything and enjoy it, and it was my first child and blah blah blah, all this stuff, and not do anything. But this time I'm like, okay, now I know what to expect raising a child. I know what to be ready for, how to plan, how to do this, how to do that. So I can navigate around my full life and have a full life. Like, I just felt like I needed to have a full life, you know, like with my business, with my brand, all the other ventures and this and that, and doing the podcast and blah, blah, blah. Like, I have to do it for myself. I cannot come
That's
and
the
die.
key, innit? You've got to do what's best for you. I think that's the key.
100%.
Yeah. Just got to do what works for you and what's best for you. Because I think society has shown us that society is fickle. They will say one thing 1 minute, do another thing the next minute.
We've been saying
trying to tell you what to do. Just do you.
Just do you. That's it.
Just do you. Guys, obviously, like, without us dwelling too much on COVID-19 because it seems to be staying around for quite some time. But
Doesn't know
I
when to
mean,
take its
things
leave.
have obviously moved across the pond where there's a mad movement going on at the moment with obviously that unfortunate death of George Floyd.
Yeah.
With the police officer. So, I mean, did you guys all see the video of George Floyd, first of all?
I saw it.
I saw the video. And I
feel like I've been left traumatized.
I've seen it in part because I understand it's an 8-minute video, right? So the full video, I've not seen the
8 minutes to kill him, basically.
Video. Yeah. I did not watch that because I know how I am, and I was like, I will not be able to get those images, and everything is out of my mind.
Daphne.
Just
don't
like
because I literally have flashbacks.
Yeah, don't watch it.
Yeah,
if you're
for
not,
his mum as well.
Like,
I saw obviously the clip enough to see that, you know, what was
to get the
going
gist
on.
of it.
Yeah. I was just like, a part of me was really filled with rage, and then another part of me was really like just overwhelmed with sadness. It was just so sad because there's people there like filming it and everything, and even still to today I've been trying to like analyze it in my mind and just be like, how come no one thought like
intervened?
Let's do a citizen's arrest, or let's
it's because it's America and no one's trying to die.
The thing is, it's America.
But at the same time,
the thing is, it's America.
It's America, and they like these police officers have guns. Like they will shoot you.
They've got guns. They will shoot
without hesitation.
Like exactly, and all those thoughts were going through my mind, and I was like, if that was here, I feel like there would be a citizen.
People would have got involved.
People would have got involved. The only reason is here they don't carry. Our police are not.
They're not armed.
They're not armed.
They're not armed.
Yeah, so you're literally like.
What's the most they're going to do? They're going to whip out the baton and.
They're going to get the baton, and even then, if you know how to flag kick, you can just flag kick them.
Yeah. So I just feel like they had no choice. They had no choice but to watch. They couldn't.
It's
and then
sad.
obviously they had to bring up their phones for evidence, like just in case, because you never know. There's several of them dying at the hands of these people who are there to look after them.
Yeah,
like it's bad. You do think like don't put it out, but I'm glad that they did.
It's sad though because obviously the police officer knew he's being filmed, and at no point did he seem concerned about his actions and what the repercussions.
They do this all the time.
Exactly. And that's what makes you sad, because you know that he knows that he's in a position where regardless of the outcome of the situation, it's fine. It doesn't matter.
He's fine. Exactly.
And that's what for me is so heartbreaking, that nonchalance, the lack of duty of care.
Exactly.
He sees himself as in the right, and the government and that country and the laws of that country have literally given him the power to do that.
Yeah.
They've given him license to do so.
Did you guys even hear now that apparently they're not even charging him for murder? Apparently they're now charging him for like homicide or something like that.
And homicide.
And I'm like, what?
Isn't homicide murder?
I'm like, how?
I don't know.
But it's a certain degree of murder.
Yeah, they said third degree.
So yeah, I heard. But then they've changed the is it the, I don't know if it's the defense lawyer or someone. They've put somebody else on the case, especially because you know when they did their autopsy, they claimed it was due to his health complications. But then when the family hired out a private person to do the autopsy, it was shown that he died from a lack of oxygen going to his brain.
Yeah.
So my understanding is
that
they had a local prosecutor, and then they changed it from the local kind of prosecution because they were, like you said, they had only charged him with a certain degree of murder, and they were basically going to botch the whole thing. So they've taken it, I think, to a national, I don't know how America works, you know how it is, the kind of basically hiring court to
the Supreme Court.
I don't know the details. I don't even want to say the wrong thing to misinform people, but it seems like that, you know, this is going to be ongoing because they know now that it's too high profile for them to let this get away, and they know that they're now going to weigh up like, oh, there's unrest, there's a call for justice, all these things. But it's a shame because there's a call for justice.
But there've been so many other people before George Floyd. That there was Trayvon Martin. There's so many people. This has happened so many times, and I feel like in America is like literally institutionalized racism. It is embedded in them. It is disgustingly embedded, and I feel like this is like, I know it sounds really bad. I'm praying by God's grace that change does come from this, from the whole George Floyd movement, and this whole Blackout Tuesday, etc., and Black Lives Matter. But we've been doing Black Lives Matter for ages. Like, Black Lives Matter is the same. It's been happening from 1997, 2007. Now we're in year 2020 and we're still handling the same rubbish. It's kind of like, okay, how much more can we take? And I know a lot of people are saying like, why are British people jumping on the bandwagon? Blah blah blah. Racism is a problem in the UK as well. It might not be to the extent. It might not be to the extent of USA, but it definitely hits us here.
I think what people forget, though, that racism isn't about just the discrimination between one group of people or race of people than another. It's actually the embedded, like you say, Georgina, the institutionalized nature of discrimination. So things can be overt, like they are in America. Like, we know that American can be just be like calling people the N-word, and they can just be blatant with it. But the UK, just because they're not saying that to our faces, doesn't mean that there's certain racism's not going on in the workplace, in public places, in just the way that the things are governed. We see as we've grown up, we know about stop and searches. We know that our black brothers, sisters, not brothers and sisters necessarily, but black males are going to be disproportionately taken to jail, sentenced. Yeah. No, I mean, it's not, that's racism. And I think people expect racism to be like a loud,
racism.
No.
It's I don't need to call you the N-word in order.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I don't need to be called an N-word in order for you to be considered racism. The fact that there's inequality, the fact that there's injustice, the fact that I need to work 20 times as harder for a position or for my place or for some kind of validity, for something, shows that yes, there is still institutionalized racism in the UK as well.
Exactly.
But you just think to yourself, I think. Do you know what? It's so funny because today when we done, obviously the gram was filled with like just black boxes, like continuously.
I haven't been on Instagram today, so I don't even know what's going on.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's so beautiful.
It's so beautiful. So literally everything is filled with black boxes. And I've been noticing the people that were liking my pictures. And you know what? I see you, boo boo. I see you. That's all I'm saying.
But also, I've noticed the people that are not putting black boxes, and I've been
actively unfollowing those.
This is it. Yeah. This is it.
Because
as they say, if you don't speak up for something, then I know what you're about. Like,
exactly.
If you can't.
And behind the scenes, they want to be my friend. They want to do this. They want to be like, yeah. I'm gonna support you. But when it comes down to it, bro, you mean the aesthetics of your page is more important than. Basically. All these things is more important. Like, I'm your friend. Can you imagine? Like, I'm your friend. If someone was cursing me out because of my skin, and you just stood next to me and did nothing,
basically.
So Annette, you know what you said about you're worried about your feed and blah blah blah. So a high-profile Instagram person, no names mentioned.
Oh, you got to tell me
that. Name and shame them. No, tell us like that. Yeah, send it in the groups.
I want to know.
Send it on the WhatsApps.
Send it.
I'll say it. I'll say it off air. So there was a well-known Instagrammer, influencer, whatever you want to call her, and what?
Yeah, go on. I'm listening. Who?
And I can see Danielle saying something, and basically someone was coming for her because she was talking about the whole Black Lives Matter and everything, but she put like a picture of herself wearing a dress, her lace wig.
I know who we're talking about.
Her lace wig lace to the gods, and literally she got dragged. Somebody was just like, it's a shame that you've decided to put yourself as the image rather than putting the important things. And you have this and you have that and you have this. So I don't know yet whether this specific person put a black box now. I don't know whether this person did do that. I'm going to check. Oh, please, someone go and check, please, because I'm going to unfollow that.
Do you know what? I really don't business because I was just like, dude,
that's disgusting.
I will unfollow you. It's fine. It's not a big deal. I've lost followers.
Oh, it's there.
My
Yeah.
brand has been like profile. I've been trolled today, this morning. First thing in the morning, I got trolled by like people in America on my brand page because
Can you
Really?
imagine?
literally, because there's people that I work with that are not of African Caribbean descent. They're not in the community, but they are supporting the cause.
Yeah,
I'm
you don't have
liking
to
their
be
page.
black to support the cause.
Exactly,
No.
but I'm liking their page because we've also worked together before. So I'm liking what they're doing. I'm liking the statements they're putting up and their black boxes. And people are coming for me for liking those people's black boxes because they are white.
Can
So
you imagine?
I'm just like,
I think that's
I'm
stupid.
Yeah, that's very childish.
I'm supporting the movement, and I'm encouraging my people who I do work with anyway that are supporting the movement. Like, I
Yeah.
don't get it.
And I
That's
think that's
stupid.
sometimes
Black Lives Matter.
But my
Black Lives Matter does not mean that only black people can
Yeah.
that defeats the whole object of
can
it.
can
Because
campaign
when
for
it
this.
comes to
If you're
LGBT
doing Black
or
Lives Matter,
whatever,
it doesn't mean that we can only protest for it.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This person was
feel
literally like, yeah, but this brand has behaved like this before to me, or like that, or this PR company has not lent out any clothes to me, and I think it's because I'm black, and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, okay,
Well, this shows you that it's not because you're black.
if
No,
that
no,
was
it doesn't
it,
show
then
them that. It may very well have been that
it
they're
may have
black.
I think
happened.
sometimes
But
that is the
But
case.
the fact of the
that
matter
could be
is,
the case, but they're
we
doing
are
something.
trying to create awareness at this point. So
Yeah.
if somebody has seen something, you have to almost give them the benefit of the doubt until they do something to prove you otherwise. To say, you know what I mean? So of course, we're going to hold so many people accountable that after this, now that you posted your black box, now what? Of course.
Now
but on the
what?
day
Yeah.
they're posting it, there's no point
Now
in
what?
to them and saying, "Oh, why have you posted the thing?" Because it's like they can't win. What do you want them to do?
What do you want them to do?
Or do you not want them
What
to
do you want them
post?
to do?
Like,
If they didn't post it, you'll
You
be
still
saying,
have
okay,
something
I'm
to say.
following you, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah.
Exactly. And that was one of the questions I posed to them. I said, where would you like people to start? And it sounded, from their essay, the response was acknowledgement. They just wanted acknowledgement of what they had done, which I agree with 100%. People should acknowledge something if they've done something wrong and they haven't, and it's affected somebody that much, then they should maybe have a conversation about it and acknowledge it. They've brought it to their attention, so now it's up to that company to apologize to them. But if they didn't know about it, if they haven't been told, okay, this is how you offended me, this is how you hurt me, they can't apologize for it. They don't know what they've done wrong. You need to tell them. So okay, so now you've told them, you have a conversation about it.
I don't necessarily agree with that point.
But how do I know I've offended you?
Okay, so I get what you're saying, Annette, but I don't necessarily agree with that point. And the reason why I don't agree with that point is because if those companies had a diverse amount of people on their panels, they wouldn't have those kind of situations. They wouldn't have those issues.
Do you know what that person said? They said this company has token.
Yes,
black
but in
people.
terms of if it's about race,
that person called all the staff that work for that company token black people. If there's black people in that company, they're just tokens. That's how they refer to them.
Yeah, sometimes that is the case, and sometimes people are recruiting and hiring black people because they need to fill a quota, and once that quota has been filled, and they've got their 2 or 3 people in the entire organization, okay, diversity box ticked, that's it, and diversity. But before diversity,
that's why they ask your ethnicity.
But that's what I'm saying. It goes back to like what you guys were saying before. It's like if they hire, they're in trouble for it. If they don't hire, then they're in trouble for it. If they have a conversation about it, if they don't, they're in trouble for it. So where, like you just said, like where do you want people to start?
I think what people want, I agree. People need to start from somewhere. But I think what a lot of people are calling many brands out for, and I can't speak for this particular brand you're speaking about, Annette, is the authenticity and the acknowledgement around the fact that you guys have been wrong for a long time. So don't make it out as though that all of a sudden you're aware. Oh, because now another black man has been killed. Oh my gosh, I had not realized this was, I was being, racist, or I was discriminating against people of color or black people, or I was using privilege to make sure that these people didn't get that, or I was overlooking qualified people because you've been doing it. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's where a lot of people are frustrated, because a lot of brands are kind of almost like, yeah, we now stand with black people, and it was kind of like, but wait, historically, especially that you didn't. And it's not because you weren't aware. We live in a society where many things are available to consume. You know, a lot of these people in senior positions, they're very aware of what's going on. They benefit from what's going on, so they choose to not speak about it, and it goes under the carpet time and time again. People get overlooked for jobs. People are token black people. Like, all these things happen, and if you've been in certain corporate spaces, you feel it, you've seen it, you know it. It's not new. Do you get what I'm saying? So when people now kind of come and be like, when people are like, oh my God, like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. And, you know, you're just like, hold on, wait. Yes, George Floyd's death is terrible. We can all agree. But let's look at the wider issues. This is actually more just a representation of what goes on in the world on a daily basis. And you contribute to 100%. It. Just because you're not killing anybody. People think, oh, I've not killed anybody. It's because you're not killing anybody. You're fueling the machine, which means that these people are not good enough for jobs, to go here, to do this, to wear that. And this is what it leads to, because when people of power now come in, they kill us. And that's 100%. The problem. That's the problem.
And it's not just even 100%. Like law enforcement as well. I don't know if any of you have read about, like, black women are 5 times more likely to die during giving birth. Like, sorry, why? Huh?
I have no idea.
Because they don't. Because do you know why? Do you know why? Because they don't take our pain seriously. And if we tell them, oh my God, I'm in pain, I'm hurting, they'll be like, oh, you're being dramatic. You're being dramatic. 100%. You know, people have done it before. That's how they treat you. I told you guys about my friend who is a pharmacist, and she told me that her friend had COVID, like she literally was diagnosed with corona. And every black person that I know personally, where people have said to me that, oh, I know someone that's been diagnosed with corona, they've always made them sign like this non-disclosure to say, if you are to be put on a ventilator, we will not try to resuscitate you.
Regina,
that's what they've been signed. Now, ask me how many white people.
My mum was even telling me this yesterday, Daphne. After
this is what people. This is what's been happening. Ask me how many white people have had that same non-disclosure given to them. Why is it the case that people from the BAME background, Black, African, and Asian, those backgrounds, why they're the ones most likely to die from this whole corona thing? Because most of them are probably signing that non-disclosure form.
And to your point, Georgina, what's frustrating me is because when they're looking into the inquiries as to why BAME people are suffering and dying more from coronavirus. And
I saw that.
Remember, initially they said it was due to economic issues,
because we work in that economic issues.
We work in all the frontline jobs and we're poor. That's what they tried to say. But what people fail to recognize is, though, when these people are going into the hospital, they're not treated the same way. They're more likely to go when they go into hospital.
They're not taken seriously.
They're not taken seriously. I know of two instances now where 2 black older people have died. Because they've sent them home. They said, oh, go home. And I know that was the 111 guidance. But they've sent them home. And then the second issue is similar to what Georgina said. They were like, your mum is passing away. She's not going to survive. And she signed this to say she should not be resuscitated. And therefore we cannot save her. Excuse me.
Exactly. That's what they've been doing. But this is what they don't report in the news. I haven't heard this once in the news from anyone. And it's a bit disappointing. It's a bit disappointing that some of the black families are not speaking out about it when they've got the option or when they've had the platform to be able to say this.
But they may be speaking out about it, George. We can't control what the media shows us. So,
but the people who actually get to go on the shows like Good Morning Britain, blah blah blah. Guess what? I was watching Good Morning Britain just yesterday. Imagine they're having a whole conversation about George Floyd. Not one person on the panel was black. How can you relate?
How can you even?
How do you relate? You can't understand what I'm talking about. But you're trying to dissect. You're trying to understand, and you're trying to back up and support something that you've never experienced in your life.
But
you've never experienced it. You don't have a view of one black person. That for me, that was kind of like, well, this says it all, guys. This completely says it all. You didn't even think not one person in your whole production team thought. Not
What's
one
the-
person in the production team thought to themselves, oh, let's get an ethnic minority on this panel, you know, to kind of give their view. No, you have an all-white panel. And yet you want us to think that this is not institutionalized racism. Even that's alone what they done, whether they meant it or not. I'm not saying that they're racist, don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying, for the fact that they couldn't even acknowledge that they're talking about a black issue. It's like talking about it's like talking about having a big conversation about gay people and gay rights and gay marriage and whatnot, and not having one gay person.
Not inviting them to the conversation.
How can I relate?
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And I think
how can I relate?
And somebody said this, like, I can't remember who it was, but I think a lot of the time, and I don't know why, you know, people that are not black feel weird to talk about blackness. And sometimes it's just like, just be open to the fact that, look, I am black. It's okay. And I've literally
had to tell colleagues, like, I've
literally had to tell colleagues like, if they want to say something, they'll be like, is it okay to say? And I'm like, yeah, it's fine. Say black, because I know what you mean. Instead of trying to describe it as that tall girl over there. She's the black one. Just say she's the black one.
Yeah, just say it.
Like, it's fine.
They start using
within reason. It's acceptable.
Yeah, so I feel like sometimes these people need to hold their hands up.
But they start using all colourful language.
Yeah, and it's not necessary. So same way on this.
It's not necessary.
I don't know why
the girl with the long legs.
I don't know why Good Morning Britain couldn't necessarily find somebody who could potentially relate to it. But sometimes you need to just put your hands up and say, guys, first and foremost, before we even get into this conversation, we need to acknowledge the elephant in the room. I think more people will look at you and be like, okay, they'll probably cuss you because they'll be like, why couldn't you do something about it?
It'd be easier to accept it.
You know what?
Yeah, you be like,
okay, well, you know, it looks a bit jiggy.
They've had that conversation before. They've actually had that conversation before, and they've had it live. I don't know if you remember Andy from Blue Peter.
Oh yeah,
yeah, I do.
So he
Andy
actually
from Blue Peter, as in Andy Peters.
Andy Peters, yeah.
Andy Peters, yeah.
He's not from Blue Peter. He's from.
He's from Live and Kicking. Live and Kicking.
Oh, I thought he was on Blue Peters.
It's because his name is Andy Peters.
No. Do you know what? He was offered a job on Blue Peters.
But,
no. He was, Annette, you're right. He was offered a job on Blue Peters.
It says less than a minute. Should we do a new call now?
Okay, yeah. Let's start a new call.
Annette, are you okay to do it? Yeah.
You want to do it for me?
No, I will, but you still have to record as long as you want me to. I'll do it though. I'll do it now.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay.
Bye. Bye.
Yeah, my Lego.
Thanks for listening to another episode of And on that note, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, tell a friend to tell a friend, your aunties, your uncles, your sisters, and the whole shambaz. Thank you. Bye.